Gaurav Bhatia, today your own policemen have exposed you. You know, your whole design has been completely laid bare. These are a string of policemen who have made it very clear about what was going on there. What do you have to say now? That, are they all lying, Mr. Bhatia?
So, Arnab, I just saw, and what did one of the police men say? He said they did not act because they were scared. That was the comment made by your channel. And that was what the policeman also said. So that is his own view. That amounts to dereliction of duty on his part.
Oh, blame the policeman.
Received orders to... No, why?
No, that's not what he said.
Why do we get into the blame game?
Gaurav, you are being so selective. You are being so selective.
Your channel said I'm repeating that.
No, you are not.
They did not act because they were scared.
You are being selective, Gaurav. You are being selective. Let's see how the others are reading it. Let's see how some of the other panelists are reading this sting operation. Let's go to Asaduddin Owaisi. How do you read the sting operation, Asaduddin?
You can ask me whatever questions you have and I'll answer your question.
We put our tape out. I just want to get a sense of how the other panelists are viewing it.
Design.
Mr. Owaisi.
Sure.
I am not at all surprised with the sting, what the inspector or the police officer was saying. Because there is a pattern, Arnab, over here of Samajwadi Party's match fixing. That is, let me go back, give me 1 minute, let me go back and say when Khalid Mujahid died in police custody, the Chief Minister said, no, he died with natural death. Very next day, the Chief Minister suspended 9 police officers. After saying in same breath, he died natural death. Let me remind the SP spokesperson of Faizabad, October 2012. DM and SP were suspended in October 2012. May 2013, they are reinstated. Am I wrong in saying this? Third point, Arnab, is that when SP made a promise before election that they'll withdraw all terrorist cases against Muslims, they went in a very inefficient way to the High Court. The High Court made a stinging remark. And what was their plea to High Court? In maintenance of public order and communal harmony, we want to withdraw those cases. So this is what you had called, and when you had done a program on that Yatra, you had called this a footsie match between BJP and SP. This is the same thing going on. What SP is doing, some tokenism, and in the end, the result is SP assuming that they're politically going to gain. They're not gaining. It is the BJP who's gaining.
I'll get into who's gaining and who's we'll get into who's gaining and who's not gaining. That's not the point. The point here is that today I have the police officers Meenakshi Lekhi saying that there were, I repeat, no clear instructions to take any preventive action. I have them on tape saying that we were not even told to fire warning shots. All we needed was that we could have at least fired warning shots to scare off the mob. We were not even told to do that, and yet you find the diffidence of the Samajwadi Party representative. Meenakshi Lekhi.
There is a pattern which is being followed, whether it's Mr. Owaisi, it's the Congress party or it's the SP. They represent a certain mindset, and that is appeasement of minority community, even if it is at the cost of law and order. And the cost of law and order is very simple. 7 rape cases happened between January and August. No FIR was registered in Uttar Pradesh. 35 cases of riots in previous times. And 7 rape cases, 3 girls were minors, including Dalits. And under those circumstances, you are brewing a kind of disaffection amongst the other members of other communities, because for registering, it's a citizen's right to have FIR registered and the culprits be booked. And if that is not happening, because somebody comes from a certain community, that means you are playing with the law and order situation, and that is precisely what leads to disaffection amongst the communities. And these 3 parties represent that particular mindset. The further evidence we find is the first time when Mr. Yadav appears as a chief minister before the cameras on the first to second day of riot, he comes with a skull cap as if he's going for an iftar or Eid celebration, and which is completely not required when you're dealing with law and order situation. And that kind of dress up
why was that required? No, I want, what was that symbolism? One second. Let's get an answer from, what kind of symbolism was that? What kind of symbolism was that? What kind of fake symbolism was that? No, I asked the Samajwadi Party representative. You don't take action, you prevent your people from taking action, you don't allow preventive action to be taken, your policemen are dead scared that if they take action, action will be taken against them, they are made to be mute spectators, and then you carry out political symbolism. I think you should apologize for what you're doing here today, and I said today that if Mulayam Singh Yadav so desperately wants to be the Prime Minister of India, if Mulayam Singh Yadav wants to so desperately be the Prime Minister of India, there must be another way to be one.
Those are your personal views. You can say whatever you want.
That's the views of a large number of people.
Please don't make such... Yes, now I will reply to your questions.
Yes, please do.
Statements made by Mr. Owaisi and Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi. Mr. Owaisi was saying that the cases were withdrawn and the reasoning given was that we want to maintain harmony. That's not correct. In each and every case, on the basis of the facts, where it was seen that on the basis of the evidence available, when it was some people were falsely implicated.
What evidence available? Your police force is on record today saying we are scared if we do anything.
No.
What evidence available? There's a culture of fear in your prosecuting machinery.
Yes, out. Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi, please do not interrupt. When you were speaking, I was listening.
1 second.
Mrs. Lekhi, yes.
She's asking you counter question.
The court
Ms. Lekhi, go ahead.
And that is why withdrawal of cases is subject to judicial scrutiny. Okay, just because a state government files an application doesn't mean the case would be withdrawn. Then, secondly...
Oh God, but why withdraw the cases at the same time? You know, why withdraw the cases? Withdrawal of cases is subject to judicial scrutiny. Wonderful. Wonderful. This is a lawyer trying to confound the debate tonight. The lawyer in Gaurav Bhatia is desperately trying to confound the debate tonight by saying you don't allow the police to do their job. Your prosecuting machinery has collapsed. You withdraw the cases.
Having me on your channel, Arnab.
Gaurav,
will you allow me to answer?
Gaurav, you're not answering the fact. What the sting operation is exposed.
Yes, I am answering now. You said that the police officer who was on camera is afraid to act. Now, out of the thousands of police officers who were doing their duty, who were even at the spot risking their lives, just because this one person comes and he should be charged with dereliction of duty,
anyone who speaks the truth, anyone who speaks the truth will be punished. Anyone who speaks the truth will be punished. Now, what you'll do is you will go after those junior police officers
risking their lives.
Really risking their lives. So I asked the Congress person tonight, Sanjay Jha. 1 minute. Sanjay Jha.
The opinion of one police officer
Sanjay Jha,
who just said that I was afraid
Sanjay Jha, how long?
So is it not Sanjay Jha
on his part? Sanjay Jha, for how long? For how long? For how long? For how long will you allow this? I say you will allow this, as in the centre will allow this. Your state Congress says there's a fixed match between the SP and the BSP. What happened to your senior Congress leadership? Why is Rahul Gandhi not demanding immediately the resignation of Akhilesh? And at the same time dissociating himself from the Samajwadi Party at the centre in protest against the communalization of Uttar Pradesh. Why isn't he doing that?
There should be a resignation of each chief minister. Even Mr. Narendra Modi should then resign.
40 riots.
All the CMs, wherever riots take place, they should resign.
Congress turn.
The standards be not the same.
I will start
the Congress turn. Yes.
Yeah, Arnav, I just want to make a very quick point here. And I think that's something that should be a matter of concern for all of us, and particularly the viewers watching this program. Muzaffarnagar is, I think, a manifestation of organized, polarized politics that you're seeing from two parties in Uttar Pradesh. I don't think there can be any dispute about it. It is important that in your tape, when you talked about the Mahapanchayat, I mean, it's absolutely preposterous when Meenakshi Lekhi sits there grandstanding on, communal disharmony, when it is her party which is principally responsible for number of disturbances that are happening not just in Muzaffarnagar but across the country. It's a much more serious issue. I think Muzaffarnagar is symptomatic of the kind of
wonderful. So Sanjay Jha, so there you go. So there you go, Sanjay Jha. I'm talking about Muzaffarnagar.
No, 1 minute. Let me
does it embarrass you to talk about Muzaffarnagar? Does it embarrass you to take a straight position against the Samajwadi Party?
But he's right, Arnab.
I'm answering your question.
He's right.
No, he's right because he's giving you a clean
Let me answer your question.
He's obviously right for you.
No, because all the SP, all the MLAs, one of them, BJP MLA was...
Gaurav Bhatia, who's the chief minister? Who's the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh? Akhilesh or Narendra Modi?
And
Is Narendra Modi the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh?
The Chief Minister of the state took all appropriate measures.
He did not, and I have it on tape tonight.
Let me answer your question.
He did not. I have it on tape tonight. And you say all the policemen I have on tape are lying.
Let me answer your question very quickly.
Sanjay Jha, and then I'll come back.
Arnab, Mahapanchayat happened on September 7. No, why don't you follow the logical sequence of events? Mahapanchayat happened on September 7. There were BJP MLAs making very serious inflammatory statements. Violence happens within 48 hours. More than 50 people died. Is there not a logical sequence of events?
No, Sanjay Jha, both you and Gaurav Bhatia need to answer one question.
The state government had to anticipate. The state government had to anticipate and prevent that.
I have two questions for both of you.
That is something that the SP government needs to explain.
No, I have
but there are bigger issues here.
Arnab,
just give me one
more
minute.
In the garb of bigger issues, you are going soft on the Mulayam Singh Yadav.
The point I'm going to make is you heard the statement of the BJP spokesperson yesterday. The BJP spokesperson makes this absurd and outrageous statement.
Sanjay, this
the Prime Minister of India,
Sanjay, let's not do this. Dodge, deflect.
They mock the secularism
Sanjay, let's
of
not
India.
Do this.
They mock secularism, which is our constitution.
Sanjay Jha, don't do.
Sanjay Jha, we need to debate the final points rather than reduce
Sanjay Jha, you know there are
only an incident in Muzaffarnagar.
Mr. Sanjay Jha,
it is a larger communal.
No, Sanjay Jha and Gaurav Bhatia, can I have a minute in? Can I have a minute between both of you? Now I know this, Sanjay Jha, that there will be some news channels in this country which will allow you to go away from Muzaffarnagar and talk about, quote unquote, larger issues. I assure you that I too want to discuss about larger issues, but in the name of larger issues, I will not allow real issues. No. Once I have two questions.
You have not discussed the role of BJP.
I have discussed the role of the BJP ad nauseum. I do not have to be reminded about discussing the role of the BJP, but allow me to ask you two questions, gentlemen. Gaurav Bhatia and Sanjay Jha take two questions, right? And my first question goes to Gaurav Bhatia, right? First question is, despite the presence of the DGP in Muzaffarnagar on the 7th, the Joli violence took place where cops obviously had no clear orders despite the tension in the area prior to the Mahapanchayat. So what was your DGP doing?
Completely incorrect, Arnab.
Oh, completely correct. You know that.
If any senior... No, not at all.
I have it on tape.
Senior police officer because this police officer is saying so. What about the other police officers who were risking their lives and who had
don't. Now you don't play this divide and rule among police officers too.
DG, not at all. I am just saying that don't take away what other police officers have done. And whatever they risked their lives, they were doing.
No, Meenakshi, you're happy with that reply? Meenakshi, please. Meenakshi.
I think the common thread between Congress, SP and MIM is for everyone to see. And the common thread is don't say a thing to minorities. And the thread grows further that when the state visit happens of the so-called secular right visits, even that visit is assigned only to Muslim community as if wounds of other communities are any less.
Absolute
even there a discriminatory treatment is going on.
Arnab, I need to interrupt here. I'm sorry, this is absolutely misleading and disingenuous. 1 minute, I need to be a little emphatic here.
Maximum number of riots have happened in
You're on a national channel. You're lying.
You don't lie, and you allow me to
on a national TV channel.
One at a time, Sanjay Jha.
Sorry, I will not allow you to lie to the people of this country. Arnab, I think I need to be given a right to rebut.
Meenakshi Lekhi and Sanjay Jha, 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
The Minister of State for Home.
Now you allow me 1 minute. Now you allow me 1 minute.
Sonia Gandhi visited every
Sanjay Jha, 1 minute. Now I will go on to quote
other areas of the majority community.
No,
this is all rubbish.
These three are cooperating.
This is all rubbish. Meenakshi Lekhi is lying.
Which three?
I'm accusing her on your channel of lying to the people of India, and she's the chief spokesperson of the BJP. She's lying to the people of India.
All of you are in par.
You are communalizing
I'm not communalizing the debate.
You are right now lying to the people of India.
I am trying to tell you that how you are maladministrating this country in the name of secularism.
So Meenakshi Lekhi, what is Uma Bharti trying to go there for? To put a healing touch? Uma Bharti wants to go to Muzaffarnagar for a healing touch?
Not for the country.
I'll tell you what Uma Bharti is doing.
She went there for a healing touch?
I'll tell you what Uma Bharti is doing. Of course, she's there for a healing
really?
because people from majority community,
You believe anybody? You think anybody will believe you when you say Uma Bharti is going for a healing touch? One second. One second.
That is what Uma Bharti is
I think none of you tonight, I assert at answering my question. I asked the question. DGP was there. What, are you having a picnic? Was the DGP having a picnic?
I am, Arnab.
And I ask a second question tonight.
Please don't generalize your comment. I am answering your question.
What makes you say that the DGP...
Let me just 1 minute. Let me just remind Meenakshi Lekhi, the team from the Congress...
One at a time, gentlemen.
1 minute.
Arnab,
1 second at a time. Gaurav Bhatia, take question number 2. Question number 2 to Gaurav Bhatia. 1 second.
And I've got the names Babrala and Khanjpura, which were visited by the Prime Minister, by the Minister of State for Home, and by Mrs. Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So please do not try and spoil and completely destroy the sanctity of this country
Sanjay
by carrying your communalism to the highest extreme of lying on national television.
Sanjay Jha, 1 minute. Gaurav Bhatia, 1 minute. Gaurav Bhatia, 1 minute. I just want to show some footage. I request our producers on the Newshour right now. Once again, Gaurav, I'm coming to you. Gaurav, just give me a minute. We have footage of what happened on the 7th, right? There was a rally. And I can tell you, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia and Miss Meenakshi Lekhi, I was shocked when I saw that footage. Because that footage shows people standing with machetes and swords and all kinds of equipment, standing on top of vehicles, showing these swords, putting them up, waving them in the air, and exhorting people, go ahead, attack, kill. That's the kind of language we hear. And there's a BJP member of parliament also. I'm saying this, Meenakshi, while I completely condemn the Akhilesh government for doing what it has, I mean, show some responsibility. Your party man, Hukum Singh, was also there, Meenakshi. Like, you don't forget that. There's the footage. He's there. He's in the circle. He's there. He's there. No, he is there. 1 second. He's there. Participative communalism cannot be allowed.
I'll come to
what was he doing? He was having a picnic? He did not know? He did not know the inflamed situations out there?
No.
He's dissociating himself from what's going on in the audience?
You cannot
what? Cannot what?
You cannot equate. I'm not trying to say if he's guilty, be punished.
If he's guilty,
at the same time when you are naming...
He sits in a party meeting in Lucknow today. If he's guilty...
I'm sorry, attending a meeting when people from a particular community are feeling left out, rape cases are not getting registered, Bahu, Ma, Behan, Beti
addressing a crowd
is at stake, and that is exactly what Panchayat was all about. Why should a condition like this in the first place happen? And if Malik from Congress was present, why aren't you naming him?
I have named every person, including
AK-47, grenades and Bangladesh.
My question to Gaurav.
Is that kept uncovered?
No, I am asking.
There are people who are manufacturing arms. Why should a government not stop
that? Now go back because
there are very serious law and order issues.
I go back to Gaurav Bhatia. Question number 2 before I let Gaurav Bhatia go.
I mean,
the policemen themselves say.
Floating in UP. Who's working to disarm them?
1 second. You see, what is happening today is a dance of communalism in UP in which all of you are participating, and at the end of it, all of you are saying, but you know what? The person organizing this dance of communalism is the Samajwadi Party. But the question is, Meenakshi Lekhi, why are you participating in the dance of communalism? Gaurav Bhatia's question number 2 tonight to you is that the cops themselves say, the policemen themselves say on our tape, I'll run pictures of it, that the senior officers looked the other way when the attack happened on those returning from the Mahapanchayat at Joli village. Right?
That's my point.
So why did they look the other way?
People even visiting
so why did they look the other way? Come on, tell me.
Arnab, yes.
Why?
Arnab, what you were pointing out, once the investigation was on, and after that it was found that certain senior officers have not acted promptly.
But why didn't they? Why didn't they?
In their duties. Action was taken. The SSP of Muzaffarnagar was suspended for this very reason.
No, the policemen...
Other officers were also suspended, and...
Your policemen are saying there are no instructions to take action.
I have... Arnab, that's why I'm saying please allow me to just complete myself. It was found that certain officers were not doing their duty. There were lapses on their part.
But they say we can't do our duty because if we do our duty, the Akhilesh government will punish us.
Yes.
So it's wonderful. You won't let them do their duty, and when we ask why they didn't do their duty, you will attack. You will take action against them. I mean, what kind of government is this?
Arnab, can I speak now?
Yes, but answer this conundrum in my mind.
Yeah, I am answering. Yes, I'll tell you. The police officer whose tape you've shown has not said that he got directions from somebody to not act. He said that I had this fear that if I will act, then action would be taken. Now, he is probably an exception and he's a blot on the police.
Oh, so the person who exposes you is a blot on the police.
Arnab,
and the politician who participates in the violence has been given a clean sheet by your chief minister. Wonderful logic. I go back to Mr. Owaisi.
Arnab, there were others.
Yes.
Now, if you've asked me a question, please permit me to reply.
Let's get someone else's perspective on your argument, because Mr. Owaisi hasn't got much time. Mr. Owaisi,
yes,
what do you think of this defense being put tonight? Also,
there were many police officers.
No, Mr. Owaisi,
who acted, who were on the field,
Mr. Owaisi,
who saved people.
No, Mr. Owaisi.
Because one police officer says this,
not one, not two, several.
And if that police officer did not act promptly, action has been taken against.
So you'll take action.
You could have blamed the government if no action would have been taken.
Now, Mr. Owaisi and Mr. Sanjay Jha. First, Mr. Owaisi. It has been proven today. It has been proven that the police has been stopped. The administration has been complicit. There's a culture of fear that you cannot act because there is political support, vote bank politics behind what is going on. It's been exposed today. So, Mr. Owaisi, why are you soft on the UPA, and which is not taking any action? And Mr. Jha, can't you sacrifice 7 months of government for just taking a principled position in saying we will not, 7 months of government, in any case your government is in trouble. You know, onion prices have gone to 250 rupees, 7 months more of government. Mr. Jha, where is your ethics and, you know, is Mulayam support so important, so desperately important for you? I see the time outside. Mr. Gaurav Bhatia has to go 3 minutes on the debate. I want an answer from Owaisi. Mr. Owaisi first, why he's so terribly soft on the Congress while taking questions to Meenakshi Lekhi. Mr. Owaisi, explain that, please. Explain the double speak.
No, Arnab, please don't accuse me of double speak. You know, I cannot speak when 3 people are shouting at each other. I'm really happy with what the BJP spokesperson is saying. I hope she continues with her poisonous venom against minorities and Muslims, because she is confused, her party is confused whether we are appeased or whether we are oppressed or we are the oppressors. Second point is that, yes, you have a point. When Mr. Home Minister has specifically told that... No, I want your confusion to grow, because today a lot of cake cutting has happened. I'm sure you get one piece of cake also.
You seem to be confused,
so that is why
Owaisi,
what you have said.
No, that's what you need to do.
I am not.
And please continue with your politics.
Madam,
I think the country is watching you. And including your hate speeches.
Madam, please allow me. At least have the patience to hear. Peace Committee member, when he joined, your Rajnath Singh said that for 15 years, for 15 years, Mr. MJ Khan has been my friend. So he was working for you in Peace Party. That is what Rajnath Singh said. Now you have a point, Arnab Goswami, that when Shinde had spoken to Chief Minister and a specific information was given that a riot could take place. My question to the Congress spokesperson and to the UPA is that why couldn't they use 355 and 365 of article? I mean, 356 is a very far-fetched thing, but 355 and 365, because giving a specific information, they have kept quiet. Yes, you have a point over there. The second point is that why aren't we talking about the BJP MLA posting that video? I mean, is the BJP spokesperson saying that that man is Mother Teresa? That no, he has.
I would also like to say this, you know, Mr. Owaisi, without getting very specific. No, without getting very specific, Mr. Owaisi, I would just say this because I don't think the BJP must respond to what you've said. But Mr. Owaisi, with honesty, your party hasn't really been the picture of restraint, huh? And you know, your party has not been the picture of restraint.
Where?
Well, come on, Mr. Owaisi, you don't have an enviable record in terms of not making communal comments, Mr. Owaisi. So, you know, you're being a little holier than thou tonight. No, I'm just saying this tonight. I'm putting it on record. I'm putting it on record, Mr. Owaisi.
Mr. Arnab Goswami,
yes.
let me put it also on record. I don't need a character certificate from His Lordship Arnab Goswami at Times Now.
It's not a character certificate. It's an observation.
So I don't need. Your character certificate, your credibility certificate has no meaning.
I'm sure it doesn't. Several politicians have told me that, but I will still say what I feel like.
Yes, I know. No, can you allow me to complete? But at end of the day, Mr. Arnab Goswami, you have seen carnage happening over there. You have seen how governments are biased towards speeches when they are made. No one gets arrested when so-called alleged hate speeches are made. It is only the minority people who face this music. Isn't that right, Mr. Arnab Goswami? Where are you? Where is your tirade? When the same thing happened, why are you keeping quiet? Why are you going soft on people who are giving hate speeches? My counter question is to you. Why has Arnab Goswami gone soft on all these people? Why have you gone soft? Why have you? Where is your shrill? Where is your attack on all these people? You have gone soft,
Mr. Owaisi, I don't know which planet you have been on of late. But if you only bothered to watch, if you only bothered 1 minute, I've heard you out. I've heard you out, Mr. Owaisi. But I have heard you out, Mr. Owaisi. But Mr. Owaisi, let me tell you this: your attempt at trying to be putting a counter question rings hollow, has no basis and is completely shallow, Mr. Owaisi. Because whether it's the Samajwadi Party, the BJP, the SP, or the BSP, this channel and on this show,
you have to say
this channel and on this show, this channel and on this show, Mr. Owaisi, please understand this. You see, we are not among one of those, where we need to prove our credentials to you. But yesterday evening itself, we made our point, and tonight the expose that we do. In fact, I think, Mr. Owaisi, you got provoked tonight because I asked you.
No,
Mr. Owaisi, in fact, Mr. Owaisi, I think all I'm saying is you got provoked tonight because I asked you a simple question where I just made a passing observation, and the otherwise calm Mr. Owaisi lost his calm disposition tonight. And the reason is because Mr. Owaisi knows what I'm talking about, because I know Mr. Owaisi. Mr. Owaisi, 1 minute. Mr. Owaisi, you know, Mr. Owaisi.
Look at the way you're replying to me.
You know, Mr. Owaisi, when I said that you're speaking of provocative speeches at mass gatherings, and the people of this country have a very long memory, your party has no enviable record. Your party must think 10 times before accusing others of vitiating the atmosphere, and I will not remind you of what happened a little earlier this year when we reported on several things. So, at that point of time when action was taken against your party, you said the Congress government has a communal bent of mind. So, Mr. Owaisi, with the greatest of respect to you, don't forget what has happened. Do not be selective. You try to be holier than thou, but at the same time, no, Mr. Owaisi, you know this. What exactly were you expecting?
Allowing me to rebut all your false allegations.
So because I will
making false allegations.
Because when someone was arrested under Section 121, when someone was when someone
making grandiose
Mr. Owaisi,
you're not allowing me to rebut your
Mr. Owaisi,
I mean, anyway, the nation is watching.
Mr. Owaisi, yes, the nation is watching, and the nation is asking you tonight. The nation is asking you tonight that, Mr. Owaisi, I am touched. I am thoroughly touched by, I would say, the grandstanding that you are doing tonight. But I remember you are the same person who was very angry when someone was booked under Section 121 in January this year, and you said the government has shown its communal bent of mind, and I think Meenakshi Lekhi knows what we are talking about out there. So you cannot have double standards there. So I have explained myself, Mr. Owaisi, though I don't need to. Now I go back to the subject, which is the Samajwadi Party. Gauda Bhatia is not on the program, he had to leave. Sanjay Jha, explain your silence. Explain your silence. What is your compulsion?
In fact, there is no silence at all from the side of the government. Let me tell you, Arnab, the government has, right from day one, it provided all the inputs and advance advisories to the state government. And this has been repeated by many of our Congress leaders even in the past. That way, 1 minute, let me answer, Arnab.
Nobody,
give me a minute.
Not even
let
Mr.
me tell you, in
takes
Uttar
that
Pradesh,
seriously.
the biggest concern that the country needs to have. Look at the three people who are driving the Uttar Pradesh politics. Narendra Modi with a background of Gujarat 2002,
Oh, Mr. Jha.
Amit Shah with fake encounters, and a Varun Gandhi with the most vitriolic hate speech. 1 minute. If you think that these three people are going to create a communal tranquility environment in Uttar Pradesh, we are all sadly mistaken. I have debated with you, Arnab, on your Times Now program that Uttar Pradesh is going to become a communal minefield if we are not careful.
Mr.
And
Jha.
therefore, my point here
Mr.
on
Jha,
your
last
debate is
response,
not about
Meenakshi Lekhi.
Muzaffarnagar alone.
Yeah,
It
but
is a
it will
lapse
become
of
a
the state
communal
government.
minefield. It will become
Our
a communal
many of our
minefield
leaders have
with your
asked
ambivalence.
for
It will
the
become a
most
communal
serious
minefield
action.
because of inaction.
And it is
because
and what we are playing at the moment is an extremely we are
Mr.
yeah, okay.
Jha
We are playing in a highly sensitive environment.
Arnab, I just had one question and one clarification.
Thanks to some political
Meenakshi Lekhi. Meenakshi Lekhi.
And the silence which central government is maintaining
Arnab.
shows the thread which is running between SP, Congress
Meenakshi
and
Lekhi,
MIM.
when Gujarat
These three
2002
are
happened, did you ask for
cooperating with
president's
each
rule?
other in the
When
central
Gujarat
government.
2002
Not
happened and
has
2,000
even
people
we've
died,
asked-
did you ask for president's
we've-
rule?
Sanjay
I'm
Jha.
sorry,
Did you- and you were
have
in
been
center
cribbing
and the
about
state.
2002
You were in
till
center and the
2013.
state.
From
And
2005
2,000 people
till
died in Gujarat. Did you ask for president's rule?
5,500
Did you ask for
cases of
Narendra Modi to be
rioting in this
dismissed as the
country.
chief minister?
19,000 people
Did you
have
ask
got
for
hurt
Narendra Modi to
under
be
your
dismissed as the
ministry.
chief minister?
I ask you, Sanjay Jha. I ask you, Sanjay Jha. I ask you, Sanjay Jha, that when the Congress leaders, why ask you, Sanjay Jha? Sanjay Jha, I ask you, listen to me. Sanjay Jha, I ask you a question. No, I have a question for Sanjay Jha. 1 second. No, Sanjay Jha.
Arnab,
No,
can I
1
make
second.
one final comment.
No, I have a question for Sanjay Jha. I can't let him go away unchecked on this one. Because Mr. Jha,
Yeah,
I
go ahead,
like the
Arnab.
way you got angry. I
I'm
like
not.
the
I
selective.
love debating
I like this. Your selective outrage. Asaduddin Owaisi's selective outrage. He's smiling there today, and he knows this. But Mr. Sanjay Jha, when there was a Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh, your party demanded president's rule in Chhattisgarh, whereas your party leaders died. Now I ask you tonight, Mr. Sanjay Jha, is the blood spilled of innocent people in communal riots in Uttar Pradesh not worthy of your attention in the same way as when Congress leaders were attacked in a Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh? You asked for president's rule then. Why is Rahul Gandhi not asking for president's rule now? Answer my question tonight. Come ahead, Mr. Jha, and answer that tonight. Why is this?
Let me answer you, Arnab.
Please do.
Let me answer you. Firstly, let's not compare two situations. Which
Why
are different.
not?
Number one,
There's a
this
communal
is
riot.
very
Is it any less?
attack.
No,
Let me tell you,
terrorist
Uttar
attack
Pradesh,
versus a
what
communal
you're
riot. Why not
witnessing,
compare?
1 minute is not an isolated
What about
instance.
AK-47?
It is not an attack by Maoists on some political party leaders.
Oh, so when there's an
This, what
isolated
you're
incident, you want
witnessing in Jammu
president's
Kashmir,
rule, but when there's
Meenakshi,
widespread
let me speak for a
communal
minute.
violence,
What
you
you're
don't want
witnessing
president's
in
rule. Why?
Bihar, what has happened in Madhya Pradesh, what is happening in Jammu Kashmir, what has happened in Uttar Pradesh, this is a very serious, well-planned, and it is extremely well-considered and
So why aren't you asking for president's rule?
Parties.
Mr.
And I
Jha,
think
what
Meenakshi
about
Lekhi is
Andhra
fully aware
Pradesh?
of it.
What
So, no,
about
1 minute.
Assam?
We have got the governor's
What about
report.
Haryana?
1 minute. The
What about
governor's
Rajasthan?
report has been submitted.
No,
The
no, you
Ministry
don't
of
know
Home
that
Affairs is
statistic.
looking into
Please
it.
go back
Let me
and
tell
check
you,
the statistics.
let me tell you, the center has sent out a
Arnab,
clear,
please come in.
explicit, unambiguous
I'm
message
short of time.
to the state government that we will not allow this violence to escalate. And
Yes.
number two, we are willing to support them in whichever way they need to contain any
Short of
further
time.
spread of
Last
the
word to
communal
Gaurav Bhatia.
confrontation.
Gaurav
I think we are
Bhatia,
acting
you know
like a
what, Gaurav
responsible
Bhatia, what you
central
need to
government.
do.
We are acting like a very judicious
2007.
government. But it is the
Gaurav
BJP
Bhatia has the last word tonight.
and the SP that needs to get politically
Yeah,
responsible.
Gaurav Bhatia has the last word tonight on this debate.
compensation. And
Yes, Gaurav Bhatia.
I met those disabled lawyers.
Arnab, I wanted to just bring a fact to your notice that the DGP of the state was there on the 6th and very strict and clear instructions were given to all officers subordinate to him.
What about
and
30th?
therefore
Don't
there
give me
was
that textbook
clarity.
answer.
Muslim Panchayat
Second,
That's a textbook
I would
answer.
like to ask Mrs. Lekhi that why doesn't she talk about Sadhvi Prachi and what action has the BJP taken on her and Sangeet Som, who was
Mr.
caught
Jha, you are a
distributing this video.
Mr.
And
Bhatia,
thirdly,
you're a lawyer.
one
Now,
assurance I want to give through your channel.
What have you
I
achieved by
want to give
keeping
one
Sadhvi
assurance through your
Pragya
channel
in jail
that
without
all
a charge
leaders
sheet?
of all political
Without a
parties
charge sheet?
who have pushed the state
That is the
to
problem.
such a state will be punished. Nobody
Mr.
would be
Bhatia,
spared.
you're a lawyer.
Through your
I think
channel,
you need to
I make
investigate
this promise.
Why is
I make
Sadhvi
this
kept
promise
in jail without
that
a
all
charge sheet?
political
I think you
leaders
should put that
who have
question to the
pushed
central
the state,
government
who
on
have
my
taken
behalf.
these lives, will be punished.
including the Samajwadi Party, I hope, including the Samajwadi Party leader who Akhilesh gave a clean chit 3 days back. I hope. I hope so.
Yes, but the BJP have the right to talk about
thank you all
because they are the party.
I thank you all for joining me on Newshour Debate 3 tonight. Gentlemen, we are tracking the story and the Samajwadi Party will have to answer some more questions. That brings us to the end of Newshour tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow the poll projections for 4 important states that starts at 7 p.m. It'll be a packed political season tomorrow on the Newshour. Thanks for watching. Good night. Goodbye.